Hello everybody, today we're going to look at some speed, distance, time problems with mixed units, which can be rather tricky. Okay, so let's get started. The first example, it says convert 1 hour 24 minutes into just hours as a decimal. Now, it's not the hour at the front that's the problem. The problem is we're in minutes here. Now, we've got to get that into a decimal. Of course, it's not 1.24. So let's just focus on the 24 minutes. Now, to convert that into a decimal, we need to get that 24 and divide by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. And if we do that, we get 0.4. So that's what 24 minutes is in terms of a decimal hour. So if we've got that original hour at the front, we've got 1.4 in total. Now that's part A taken care of. Part B is the other way around. And again, it's not the 2 part of this, that's the problem. We know there's 2 hours, but it's the 0.32 here. Now, if we divide it by 60 to get from minutes to a decimal, if we're going to start with the decimal and we want to put it into minutes, we're going to multiply by 60. So we get the 0.32 and we multiply by 60, and that is going to give us 19.2. So we've got those 2 hours and we've got 19.2 minutes. Okay, on to the next question. Now, in this particular question, we have got a car and it travels 200 miles in 3 hours and 20 minutes, and you can see already that's the problem, the 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to calculate the average speed of the car. So we don't want to put 3.2 into our speed, distance, time equation. We're going to have to convert that 20 minutes into a fractional decimal so we can use it. So 3 hours 20, well, why don't we write that as 3 hours and then 20 out of 60, because that's what it is really as a fraction. We can simplify that, of course, to 3 1/3 hours. Now, of course, 20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour. So this is absolutely right, no problems at all. Now then, let's just go and think about our speed, distance, and time triangle. Just like in the previous exercise, we are looking to calculate the speed. So we need to do the distance, which is 200, divided by the time, which we now know we need to write as 3 1/3. If I calculate that, I get 60, and we're in hours and miles, so it's miles per hour as our unit. Okay, on to the third example. An athlete runs 1,500 meters in 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Calculate the average speed in meters per second. So this isn't as difficult as we actually originally think, because we need to get this speed in meters. Well, yeah, we're already in meters, and seconds. So all we need to do is to convert this time into seconds. So 3 minutes is 180 seconds, 3 times 60, plus this extra 12 on the end. We're dealing here with 192 seconds. So if I want to work out the speed, distance, time, it's going to be distance divided by time, 1500 divided by 192, and that's going to do it. So if I work that out, that is going to be 7.8 meters per second. Okay, on to the final example. Quite a difficult example, this one. You've got a bus traveling at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Calculate the speed of the bus. Well, first in meters per second. Now, the best way of doing this, it might be a little bit long-winded, is to write out statements and start to think about how we're going to convert. We've got 40 kilometers per hour. Well, let's think about kilometers first of all. How do we get that into meters? Well, we know there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that by 1,000. And what that'll do, it'll get the 40 kilometers per hour and it'll get it into meters per hour. So of course, that is 40,000. So we've got 40,000 meters per hour. Now there's the meters part. Yeah, happy with that. We now got to get it into seconds. So there's going to be 60 minutes in an hour. So if I divide it by 60, what's going to happen is I'm going to be in meters per minute. So if I do that on my calculator, I'm going to get 666.67, and we're now converted into meters per minute. Of course, what I want to do is divide by 60 again, and that's going to get me in where I want to be, meters per second. Now, if I do that on the calculator, I'm going to end up with 11.1 meters per second, and that is the correct answer. So write some statements out and link between units very carefully, and there's going to be no problem here at all. Now, the second half of this, miles per hour, is actually surprisingly easy. If we're in 40 kilometers per hour and we want to get into miles per hour, we've just got to convert between miles to kilometers, really. Now, we should know that there are 5 miles to 8 kilometers. So if we're starting with 40 kilometers, we need to divide it by 8 and then multiply by 5, and then we're going to get this answer into miles. So that's going to end up being 25. So our speed is 25 miles per hour. Okay, good luck with the exercise.